Believe again, because anything is still possible for you, even now, even after everything you've been through. Come a little closer, my dear. Take a slow breath with me, just like that, and let your shoulders soften for a moment. You don't have to carry everything all at once right now. You don't have to solve your whole life in this second. Just be here with me. I want you to know something before we go any further. I can feel how tired you are, not just physically, but deep in that quiet place inside you, the place where hope used to live so easily. Maybe you've been waiting for something to change, waiting for things to finally make sense, waiting for life to open a door that has felt stubbornly closed. And maybe, if you're honest with yourself, there have been moments when you wondered, what if it's just not meant for me? What if the love, the peace, the breakthrough, what if it happens for everyone else, but not for me? Come back to your breath, because that thought, that quiet, heavy thought, it's not the truth. It's just what pain sounds like when it has gone on for too long. I know it can feel convincing. When time passes and nothing seems to shift, when you try and still find yourself in the same place, it can begin to feel like life has forgotten you, like you've been skipped over somehow. But let me gently offer you another way of seeing this. What if nothing has gone wrong? What if this moment, this exact place where you are, is not evidence that your dreams are impossible, but simply proof that something is still unfolding, something you cannot fully see yet? You see, life doesn't always move in straight lines the way we expect it to. It moves like seasons, like tides, like the slow, invisible growth of a seed beneath the soil. And when a seed is buried, it looks like nothing is happening. It looks dark. It looks still. It looks like the end of something. But beneath that surface, everything is changing. Roots are forming, strength is gathering, the foundation is being built in silence. And my dear, you are not buried. You are being planted. Take that in for a moment. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified from the life you desire. You are in a process that does not always announce itself loudly. I know, part of you wants proof. You want to see something, feel something, hold something tangible that tells you, yes, it's working. But life doesn't always give us proof before it asks us to believe. Sometimes belief is what opens the door. And I want to ask you something gently. What would change inside you if you allowed yourself to believe again? Not forced belief, not pretending, but a soft, quiet willingness to consider that maybe, just maybe, your story isn't over yet. Because it isn't. There is still movement in your life. There is still possibility surrounding you, even if you can't see it clearly right now. There are still paths forming that you haven't stepped onto yet. Still moments that haven't unfolded. Still people you haven't met. Still parts of yourself you haven't discovered. Nothing about your current situation has the authority to decide your entire future. Nothing. And I want you to notice something very important, something subtle. The pain you feel right now, it's not just because things haven't happened yet. It's because you once believed they could. You once saw something for your life. You once imagined something better. You once felt hope. And that hope, it didn't come from nowhere. It came from a deeper part of you that still knows what is possible. That part of you hasn't disappeared. It's just been quiet, waiting, protecting itself, resting after disappointment. but it's still there. And today, we're not forcing it awake. We're just gently inviting it back. Take another slow breath. Let me tell you something that might shift how you see everything. Timing is not punishment. Delays are not denial. And the space between where you are and where you want to be is not empty. It's full of preparation, full of alignment, full of invisible rearrangements that your eyes cannot yet track. Think about a door, my dear. When a door is closed, it can feel like rejection, like something is being kept from you. But what if that door is closed because something behind it is still being prepared? What if it's not no, but not yet, not like this, not until everything is ready? You wouldn't want a life that arrives before you're ready to receive it fully, would you? You wouldn't want love that comes before you can truly hold it, or opportunities that come before you can sustain them. So what if this time, this waiting, is not empty, but necessary? What if it's shaping you into someone who can receive, not just chase? Because there's a difference, you know. Chasing comes from a feeling of lack. It says, I need this to feel complete. But receiving comes from a deeper place. It says, I am already becoming the person who can hold this. And right now, the most important question is not, when will it happen? It's, who am I becoming in the meantime? Feel that question. Who are you becoming as you move through this season? Are you becoming someone who trusts a little more, even in uncertainty? Are you becoming someone who softens instead of hardens? Are you becoming someone who chooses to believe again, even after disappointment? Because that version of you, that person, is the one who will meet the life you're asking for. And this is where everything begins to shift, not outside, but inside. You don't have to wait for your life to change before you begin to feel different. You can begin now, gently, slowly, in small, quiet ways. Right here. Take a breath. Let your body relax just a little more, and say to yourself, softly, not loudly, not forcefully, just gently, maybe things are still working out for me. Just maybe. You don't have to fully believe it yet. You don't have to be certain. Just allow the possibility, because possibility is where everything begins. And I want you to notice what happens when you allow even a small opening like that. Your chest softens just a little. Your thoughts slow down just a little. Your body stops bracing just a little. And in that space, something new can enter. This is how change begins, not with pressure, but with permission. Permission to feel differently. Permission to think differently. Permission to believe again, slowly, safely, in your own time. You don't have to rush this process. You don't have to prove anything. You are allowed to rebuild your belief gently, like someone learning to trust again after being hurt. Step by step, breath by breath, and I want you to understand something deeply. Your life is not responding only to what you want. It is responding to who you are being, to the energy you carry, the emotions you practice, the identity you step into each day. So if you've been living in quiet doubt, in subtle fear, in the expectation that things won't work out, of course life has felt heavy. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because your inner state has been shaped by your experiences. And that's okay. That's human. But it also means something very powerful. It means that as you begin to shift inside, even gently, even imperfectly, your outer world will begin to respond. Not instantly, not dramatically at first, but steadily, like the first signs of a new season. And this is why believing again matters so much. Not because belief magically fixes everything overnight, but because belief changes how you show up. It changes how you see opportunities. It changes what you allow. It changes what you notice. And over time, it changes your life. So right now, I don't want you to force yourself into certainty. I don't want you to pretend everything is perfect. I just want you to take one small step, one quiet step, and allow yourself to consider, what if something beautiful is still possible for me? Stay with that. Breathe into it. Let it sit gently in your heart. Stay with that feeling a little longer, my dear. Don't rush away from it. Just breathe into it, gently, slowly. There's something very delicate happening inside you right now. It may be small, almost unnoticeable, but it matters more than you realize. That soft willingness, that quiet opening, that tiny voice saying, maybe, that is where everything begins. You see, real transformation doesn't arrive like a storm. It doesn't burst into your life with noise and urgency. It begins like this, subtle, quiet, almost fragile. And if you're not paying attention, you might miss it. Or worse, you might dismiss it. But I don't want you to dismiss this moment, because this, right here, is the moment you begin returning to yourself. Let me ask you something gently. When did you stop believing it was possible? Not the exact day, not the specific moment, but the feeling. When did it start to fade? Was it after something didn't work out the way you hoped? Was it after someone disappointed you? Was it after you gave your energy, your effort, your heart, and it didn't come back the way you expected? Of course it was. That's how it happens for most people. Belief doesn't disappear overnight. It slowly gets worn down, softened by repeated moments of not yet, not this time, almost, but not quite. And after a while, something inside you begins to protect itself. It whispers, don't expect too much. Don't get your hopes up. Don't believe too deeply. It hurts when it doesn't happen. And my dear, that voice is not your enemy. It's a part of you that learned through experience that hope can feel painful when it isn't fulfilled. So instead of judging that part of you, instead of trying to silence it or push it away, I want you to acknowledge it. Just for a moment, place your attention on that protective voice and quietly say, I understand why you feel this way. Take a breath. Because healing doesn't happen by force. It happens through understanding, through compassion, through allowing yourself to feel what you've been carrying. And here's the gentle truth. You didn't stop believing because you're weak. You stopped believing because you felt, because you cared, because something inside you was open enough to hope in the first place. And that part of you, that hopeful, open, dreaming part, it's not gone. It's just been waiting for a safe moment to come back. And right now, you're creating that safety. Right here, in this quiet space, in this soft breath, in this gentle awareness, you're telling yourself, it's okay to open again. slowly. You don't have to jump back into full belief. You don't have to convince yourself that everything will work out perfectly. All you need is willingness. Willingness to soften instead of closing. Willingness to consider instead of shutting down. Willingness to feel instead of numbing. Because the moment you become willing again, life begins to respond differently. Not because life changed instantly, but because you did. You see, my dear, your inner world is not separate from your outer world. They are in constant conversation. And when your inner world is filled with quiet resignation, with the expectation that things won't work out, your outer world tends to reflect that same energy back to you. But when something inside you begins to shift, even slightly, even quietly, when you begin to open, to soften, to believe just a little again, that conversation changes, and life begins to meet you differently. Not always in obvious ways, not always immediately, but in small signs, subtle shifts, unexpected moments, a conversation that feels different, an opportunity you didn't notice before, a feeling of calm where there used to be tension. These are the beginnings. But here's where many people misunderstand the process. They look for big, dramatic change right away. They expect everything to suddenly fall into place. And when it doesn't, they go back to thinking, see, nothing is happening. But that's not how growth works. Growth is quiet. It happens beneath the surface, long before it becomes visible. Just like that seed we spoke about. It doesn't break through the soil the moment it's planted. It takes time, unseen time, where everything is forming in silence. And during that time, if you judged the seed based on what you could see, you would think nothing is happening, but everything is happening. And my dear, the same is true for you. Right now, there are shifts happening within you that you cannot fully measure yet. Your awareness is expanding. Your emotional patterns are softening. Your identity, the way you see yourself, is beginning to change. And that is where real transformation begins. Because your life doesn't change when circumstances change. Your life changes when you change. When you stop seeing yourself as someone who is waiting and begin to see yourself as someone who is becoming, do you feel the difference? Waiting feels passive, heavy, uncertain. Becoming feels active, alive, full of quiet movement. So instead of asking, why hasn't it happened yet? I want you to gently shift into a new question. Who am I becoming through this? Take a breath with that. Because this question, it changes everything. It brings your power back to you. It reminds you that you are not just sitting in your life. You are shaping it moment by moment through the way you think, the way you feel, the way you respond. And this is where I want to guide you into something very simple. Something you can begin right now. Not as a task, not as something you have to get right, but as a gentle practice. Close your eyes for a moment, if you can, and imagine a version of you, just slightly different from who you are right now. Not perfect, not completely transformed, just softer, calmer, more open. This version of you wakes up and doesn't immediately feel overwhelmed. This version of you carries a quiet sense of trust, even if everything isn't figured out yet. This version of you no longer feels like life is against them, but begins to sense that something is quietly working in their favor. Can you feel that version of you? Don't strain, just sense it. And now, ask yourself, how does this version of me breathe? Slowly, deeply, without rush. How does this version of me think? Gently, without harshness, without constant doubt. How does this version of me move through the day? With a little more ease, a little more presence, a little more openness. Stay there for a moment, because you don't have to become this person overnight. You only have to begin embodying small pieces of this version of you, little by little. Maybe it's taking one deeper breath before reacting. Maybe it's choosing one kinder thought when your mind becomes critical. Maybe it's allowing yourself one moment of stillness in a busy day. These small shifts, they may seem insignificant, but they are not. They are the building blocks of a new identity. And your identity, my dear, is what shapes your reality. So when you begin to shift how you see yourself, even slightly, when you begin to say, I am someone who is learning to trust again. I am someone who is open to possibility. I am someone who is becoming stronger, calmer, more aligned. Your life begins to reorganize around that identity, not instantly, but steadily. And now, I want to give you something gentle, something you can carry with you, not as a rule, not as pressure, but as a soft anchor. Whenever you notice yourself slipping back into doubt, into heaviness, into that familiar feeling of it's not going to work out, I want you to pause, take a slow breath, and quietly say to yourself, I am still in the process, and the process is not finished yet. Let that settle, because it's true. Your story is not complete. Your life is not finished unfolding. There are still chapters that haven't been written, still moments waiting to meet you, still experiences that will surprise you. And the most important thing you can do right now is not to force the outcome, but to stay open to the possibility, to keep that small flame of belief alive, even if it flickers, even if it feels fragile, because even the smallest flame can grow if it's protected, if it's nurtured, if it's allowed to breathe. And you, my dear, you are learning how to protect that flame again. You are learning how to come back to yourself gently, patiently, without pressure. And that is more powerful than you think. So stay here just a little longer. Breathe. Soften. I know it sounds strange at first, doesn't it? You might be thinking, why would I be afraid of receiving the very thing I've been wanting? But let me ask you something softly. Have you ever come close to what you wanted and suddenly felt unsure? Have you ever felt things beginning to shift and then something inside you pulled back, hesitated, questioned it? That's not coincidence. That's conditioning. Because somewhere along your journey, you may have learned that receiving comes with risk, that having something good means you could lose it, that being happy means something might go wrong, that finally getting what you want might expose you, stretch you, change you in ways that feel unfamiliar. And so, without even realizing it, a part of you begins to hold back. It keeps you in the familiar, even if the familiar is uncomfortable, even if it's not what you truly want. Because familiar feels safe. even when it isn't fulfilling. Take a breath with that. There is nothing wrong with you for feeling this way. This is not self-sabotage in the way people often describe it, like you're doing something wrong. No, this is self-protection. A part of you is simply trying to keep you safe from disappointment, from loss, from the unknown. And, my dear, we don't fight that part of you. We understand it. We soften around it. We gently show it that it's safe to open again. So instead of asking yourself, why am I holding myself back? I want you to ask something different. What am I afraid might happen if things actually work out? Just sit with that question for a moment. Don't rush to answer it, just feel into it. Because your answer might not be obvious at first. It might come as a subtle feeling, a quiet hesitation, a thought that passes quickly. Maybe it's, what if I can't maintain it? What if I lose it? What if I'm not enough to handle it? What if everything changes and I don't recognize my life anymore? And, my dear, these fears are not signs that you are incapable. They are signs that you are standing on the edge of expansion. Because growth, real growth, always feels unfamiliar at first. It asks you to step beyond the version of yourself that has been shaped by the past and into a version of yourself that is still forming. And that space, that in-between space, it can feel uncertain. But uncertainty is not danger. It's possibility. Take another slow breath. Let that settle into your body, because right now, what you're learning is how to feel safe in expansion, how to allow good things without bracing for them to disappear, how to receive without tightening, without questioning, without pulling away. And this is where we bring everything back to something very simple, very grounding. Your breath, because your breath tells your body whether it is safe or not. So, right now, place your attention gently on your breathing. Inhale slowly and exhale softly. Again, inhale and release. Let your body feel that rhythm, because every time you slow your breath, you send a signal to yourself, I am safe in this moment. And from that place of safety, you can begin to open, not all at once, but gradually, like a flower that doesn't force itself to bloom, but opens petal by petal in its own time. That is how you are opening. That is how you are learning to receive. And now, I want to guide you into something soft, something you can carry with you, something you can return to whenever doubt begins to rise again. A quiet set of affirmations, not spoken with force, not repeated with pressure, but felt gently, as truth you are allowing yourself to grow into. So, take a breath, and if it feels right, repeat these softly within yourself. I am safe to believe again. Pause. I am safe to receive what is meant for me. Let that settle. I do not have to chase what is already finding its way to me. Breathe. I trust that my life is still unfolding, even when I cannot see it clearly. And gently, I am becoming someone who allows good things with ease, with openness, with trust. Stay with those words for a moment. Let them move through you, not just as thoughts, but as feelings. Because affirmations are not about convincing your mind. They are about softening your body into a new state, a new way of being. And every time you return to these words, gently, patiently, you are rewiring something deep within you. You are teaching yourself that it is safe to hope again, that it is safe to open again, that it is safe to believe that anything is still possible for you. And my dear, it is. Even now, even after everything, even if it doesn't look like it yet, because possibility is not something outside of you. It lives within you, in your willingness, in your openness, in your quiet decision to not give up on yourself, even when it's hard. And I want you to understand something very clearly. You don't have to be perfect in this process. You don't have to stay positive all the time. You don't have to eliminate every doubt or fear. All you need to do is keep returning to your breath, returning to your awareness, returning to that small, steady belief that your life is not finished unfolding. Because every time you return, you strengthen that part of you that is ready for change, ready for growth, ready to receive. And over time, that part of you becomes stronger than the fear, stronger than the doubt, stronger than the old patterns that once held you back, until one day you notice something. You're no longer waiting. You're no longer questioning if it will happen. You're simply living with a quiet knowing that it already is, in ways you can feel even before you can fully see. And that is when everything shifts. Not because life suddenly became perfect, but because you did. Not perfect in the way the world defines it, but aligned, open, at peace within yourself. And from that place, life flows differently. Opportunities feel lighter. Connections feel more natural. Decisions feel clearer. Because you are no longer moving from fear, you are moving from trust. So, as we come gently to the end of this moment together, I want you to place a hand over your heart, if you can, and feel your own presence. Feel that you are still here, still breathing, still growing, still becoming, and quietly say to yourself, I have not missed my moment. Pause. Nothing meant for me has passed me by. Breathe. Everything that is meant for me is still finding its way to me. And finally, I choose to believe again. Stay there, just for a moment. Let those words wrap around you like something warm, something safe. Because this is not the end of your story, my dear. This is the beginning of a new relationship with yourself, a gentler one, a more trusting one, a more open one. And from this place, anything is still possible for you.